Hey everyone, welcome back to Mason Woodshop. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at something super cool. We have two products from AllPowers. Over here, we have the R1500 battery pack. This is a 1152 watt-hour lithium iron phosphate battery pack that can support up to a maximum power draw of 1800 watts, which is super cool, very expandable. Really cool unit. And to the left, we have the AllPowers 200 watt solar panel. This is the SP033. And in full disclosure, both of these were sent to me free of charge from AllPowers. However, they are not reviewing the content of this video, and all of the thoughts shared in this video are mine alone. So without further ado, let's take a look at what comes in the box. Then I'll show you the features and benefits of each of these. All right, so let's take a look at what comes in the AllPowers R1500 box. And you can see that it's pretty high quality cardboard, has handles on the side, so given the weight of this, that is definitely nice. And inside, you can see that we have this nice closed cell foam. So if you order it, it is more than likely to show up to you completely in excellent condition. We've got a little accessory bag, paperwork, and yeah, it's really nice closed cell foam. Let's take that out. So yeah, really nicely protected. Then inside we have the battery. So let's take that out. There we go. Now we will do a bit more of a tour on this in a few minutes, but let's just turn it on and see if there's any charge. So yeah, already has 75% charge, so that's always nice with these sorts of things. Really nice handles on the side, so just nice and compact and like integrated into the unit. And let's take a look at what comes in the accessory bag. Oh yeah, so just one cable in here, so North American outlet or plug to charge the battery. And yeah, nothing else. So I do think my EcoFlow, I think the only additional thing that it came with was the like cigarette adapter charger for the battery. Not something that you would probably charge something like this, but it was nice to have an extra cable there. But this bag's nice, and I know the solar panel is going to have a number of cables that come with it. Paperwork, nothing too exciting there. Warranty information and the instruction manual. Okay, so now we get to the 200 watt solar panel. This is the SP033. And this is my first ever solar panel. So if I get any of the terminology wrong, let me know. But yeah, it's nice how it's kind of all packaged together. Oh, that looks like a stand. And yeah, so it looks like all the accessories are actually stored in here. We'll open up the solar panel in a few minutes as well. But yeah, in here, what do we have? Let's take all this out. Oh, so we got a little bit of paperwork, instruction manual. So it does have the MC4, so I believe these are MC4 connectors that are integrated into the panel itself. And then we have the MC4 to XT60, so kind of the most standard charger for these kind of battery packs. And what's nice about EcoFlow uses the exact same one, so or can take XT60. So this will be able to power both my AllPowers R1500 as well as my EcoFlow River Max. We then have let's take this one out of the bag. So we have the MC4 to alligator clip. So this is for charging your car battery if you need to. Yeah, so that's handy to have. Then we have the MC4 to a barrel jack. And what's interesting with that is that it comes with these adapters. So I haven't seen one of these things since I was in university a long time ago. Just as far as kind of like the laptop adapters for like a universal charger. So it does come with that. So I mean, I think that one's typically for like Lenovo and yeah, anyways. So you could direct charge your laptop or some other devices that take these barrel jacks directly from the solar panel. Kind of handy, not something I'll probably use, but cool that it's included. All right, so then we just kind of have the solar panel itself, which just kind of easily unclips to unfold. And let's see. Woo. So yeah, without kind of unfolding it completely until I show you how it's used later, really cool. So yeah, this is my first solar panel. So I'm looking forward to giving this a try and seeing how it can charge up these battery packs. Okay, so now let's take a tour of the R1500, and you'll see, other than the screen right here, which does have a lot of valuable information as you have devices plugged in, kind of relating to the features, you'll see the input and the output and the amount of time remaining, which is great, and the percentage of the battery. So over here we have the DC output for USB ports. So we have dual USB type A, each of which is 18 watts, and it can pull up to a combined 36 watts. So it's nice that all of these are independently powered. Same with the USB-C, which is 100 watts per port, and I did plug in 2 laptops to this, one of which was pulling close to the 100 watts. The other one was limited by the laptop to about 60 watts, but nice to kind of be able to maximize those. And to activate those ports, you do have to press that button right there. And same goes for the AC ports below, which can pull a combined 1800 watts. And there is a peak surge of 3000 watts that this unit can deliver. So if you're plugging in something like a microwave, they can draw a lot of power during initial startup, and then they drop. So same with vacuums and that sort of thing. But yeah, these 4 ports, all nicely protected. And this whole unit does weigh quite a bit. So it's 17 kilograms or around 36 pounds. So it's not the lightest battery out there, but that's because of the capacity, that being that 1154 watt hours of power. And just kind of rounding out the top, the DC output. So I haven't played around with this. I don't really use anything that connects like that, whether it's with my vehicles or any of that sort of thing. So, but I have been using all the others, and it's been holding up really, really well. Now on the top, we do have 2 wireless chargers. I've tested both of these with my iPhone, which I'm filming on right now, so I can't show on video, but these work really well. And so it's nice to have that kind of quick charge via wireless on the top. And these are both 15 watts of wireless charging, which my iPhone is capable of pulling. Well, let's turn the unit around. And on this side, we just have 2 expansion ports. So these allow you to connect up to 2 additional batteries together so that they can work together. Around the back, nothing, just a little bit of information on it. Then on this side, this is how you charge the R1500. So we have 3 different ports here. We have kind of the regular charger for the wall, which this is kind of how I typically charge it. We then have a circuit breaker on here, so if something does flip, as well as the port to connect this to a solar panel. So just a few other things that I want to highlight about the R1500. So this is, as I mentioned, that lithium ion phosphate. So comparing that to, let's say, my lithium ion based EcoFlow River, which does have the, so there's the River as well as then the additional battery pack, which takes this from 288 watt hours up to 556, I believe, if my math is right, 576 watt hours. So this has been a great battery, but it is lithium ion based. And just kind of comparing those two. So from a safety perspective, the bonds of lithium iron phosphate are a little better, which is going to kind of prevent some of the battery fires that you might have, and it's less prone to overheating with the lithium ion phosphate. Now, on kind of the weight, so there is a bit of a weight advantage to lithium ion. So the energy density is definitely a little higher on that, but it's pretty close. Now the temperature range, so lithium iron phosphate has a temperature range of minus 20 degrees Celsius to positive 60 degrees Celsius versus lithium ion phosphate, which is, versus lithium ion, and which is 0 degrees to 45 degrees Celsius. So there is definitely a little bit better performance from the lithium iron phosphate. And if you've been following battery technology over the last few years, you'll see that this is kind of where a lot of these battery packs are going. And the main thing, and whether it's like off-grid living or that sort of thing, but lithium iron phosphate does have a much longer kind of cycle threshold when it comes to battery degradation. Whoops. There we go. And so while a lithium iron can last kind of that typical like 500 cycles before there's any significant degradation in the battery, which is a ton of cycles, just to let you know. But if you are doing like any sort of off-grid living or using these batteries frequently, lithium iron phosphate is typically thousands of cycles before degradation. So as far as an investment, these are expensive units, but lithium iron phosphate is going to give you a lot more life. So definitely helpful with that. But now let's take a look at the UPS function of the AllPowers R1500. Okay, so what I want to do now is showcase that UPS function of the unit, and I'm going to be doing that with my dust extractor right here, which typically pulls, I think, around like 1200 watts or so from the wall. And there are a few things I want to highlight here. So first of all is that the AllPowers R1500 has a 15 millisecond transfer time, which compared to my electronics UPS for my network setup downstairs, which has a 4 millisecond transfer time, it is slower, but 15 milliseconds in my testing has been fast enough for sensitive electronic devices like switches and routers and that sort of thing to not drop power. So it's not as fast as some that are optimized for electronics, but it is more than fast enough for those types of electronics. And what I'm gonna do here, and you'll see right here, and it probably doesn't show up on video great, but there's a little UPS icon. The R1500 is plugged into the wall. You can hear the fan in the unit, which runs when it is charging from the wall or from solar, so that it can keep the batteries cool enough to optimize them for charging. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on the vacuum. It's going to the vacuum's gonna be drawing power from the wall through the unit, but not through the battery of the unit and into the vacuum. So we're gonna see the input. So input is kind of how it's charging the battery here. So that's gonna change and it's gonna be more output towards the vacuum itself. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unplug the R1500 from the wall. And within that 15 millisecond transfer time, the vacuum is going to switch over to battery power on the AllPowers. And you're just gonna hear kind of a slight drop in suction from the vacuum, very, very slight. And that's when that transfer time is taking place. So let me turn it on, then I'll give it a few seconds, then I'll turn it off. There, so hopefully, and I will have muted it just a little bit, but kept it at the same percentage so that you would hear that kind of just very, very slight drop in the vacuum. So really happy with that function on this. A lot of batteries, like the AllPowers R15, a lot of the competitors to the R1500 don't have that UPS function. So it's something that can be really handy if you want to use the AllPowers R1500 in other applications. Okay, now setting up the solar panel is pretty easy. In this package, the SP033 weighs about 7 kilograms or about 15 pounds. It is a 200 watt solar panel that is made out of polycrystalline and offers 22% conversion, which is pretty good for solar panels. So they typically max out kind of at the 23% range, but a lot of the competitors are around 19 watts, or 19% conversion rate, that is. So let's turn this around. It's got these nice feet on the bottom. And this is late July in Southern Ontario, and it is about 11 o'clock in the morning. So we'll be dealing with whatever the sun has right now. So it probably isn't optimal time, but it should be pretty decent. So now connecting the solar panel to the battery, super easy. We're gonna be using these MC4 connectors, clip on nicely. Okay, so now that we have the solar panel out, we can just connect the connector to the solar panel, or to the battery. And we'll just give it a moment. Okay, so I've grabbed the camera, and actually, you know what? Let's try to get a good angle on this. So you can see there that we're actually getting 114 watts of input right now. So sun is in a pretty decent spot to be able to get 114 watts. When I've been playing with this the last week or so in the evenings, I've kind of seen like a trickle of like 20 watts here and there, but let's just do a quick tour around. You can see that it's a pretty big panel, very durable. So it is dust and water resistant. So it's not something that you'd want to use in a heavy downpour, but it's not something that you have to be super concerned about if there was a light sprinkle out there. And yeah, so it's pretty impressive with the charge that we're getting right now. So let's see if it, oh, not quite 120 watts. I want to see, there we go, 120, 122, 123. So really quite happy with that given where we are in the world in Southern Ontario, and just kind of picking a random morning to do this. Okay, so we've taken a pretty detailed look at the R1500 and the SP033 solar panel, and I want to get into what I like and dislike, but first I want to talk about how I'm going to be using this unit. And there are a few reasons why I like to have these sorts of battery backups and why I bought the EcoFlow in the first place. Number one is just as an emergency backup. If there's a power outage or something like that, these are really easy units to pull around. And I do have a gas generator, but this is just so much easier and so much more portable. And with the solar panel, that even further extends it. So if there is an extended power outage, I can charge the battery using solar, even though it will take a good amount of time. The other thing is portable power. So for me, as a woodworker, there are times when I'm on like at a site where I don't have access to power, and that's where gas generators and battery on tools can help. But sometimes with my miter saw or dust extractor, I don't have battery powered miter saw or dust extractor. So this is going to be ideal for that. And kind of on that note about portable power as well, and I'll show a clip right now, but working at my shed. So I like to vacuum out my shed once or twice a year, and I usually have like 150 feet of extension cord running back to the shed while I do so, and that's really cumbersome. Whereas with this battery, I'll be able to get about 35 to 40 minutes worth of full power from my shop vac when I am back at the shed. And when you think about the EcoFlow that I have, it's half the capacity of this. So that would be only half the time. So this one from AllPowers is going to be absolutely ideal for that use case. And the final kind of way that I'm going to be using this is just is for camping. So my wife and I, when we go camping, we take the EcoFlow, and it can usually last through the majority of a weekend of camping, but on that last day, it's usually close to that 0%. So there's going to be an additional peace of mind with the AllPowers R1500 and its 1152 watt hour of capacity. So that's how I'm going to be using this battery and the solar panel. And what do I like and dislike about this unit? Because I think that there are a number of things to like. And first of all, the battery technology being used. So that lithium iron phosphate is kind of the modern battery technology used in these sorts of battery packs. So having that, knowing that there's that longevity, knowing that the investment in a battery like that, this is going to last longer, is really quite important to me, and something that's going to make this just a lot more stable for me over time. Second of all is the selection of ports. So it's nice having 2 USB-C. It's nice having the 4 AC outlets as well, because there are times where I'm using 3 of those when we're camping or at a job site and that sort of thing. So it is nice that it supports that 3000 watt surge, because there are times when I have my miter saw hooked up to my dust extractor, and that's going to generally bring in kind of over 3000 watts when they're first turned on. Then it will kind of settle down to that manageable like 1600 watts. And knowing that this unit is an 1800 watt unit, it's going to be an amazing one for me when it comes to using my power tools. A couple of other things that I want to highlight about this unit before talking about the solar panel is the build quality is great. So I'm really quite happy with that. It's easy to lug around. The handles are quite nice. It makes sense that it doesn't have a single top handle, just given how heavy it is. And on the solar panel note, I want to just kind of note the price of the solar panel is amazing compared to the competitors. So this is a 200 watt solar panel, and I'll get to all the pricing in a few minutes, but it is about half the price of a lot of the competitors in that same 160 watt to 200 watt range. So really quite impressed with the solar panel pricing. Now, let's also talk about something that is a like, but then also a dislike with this unit, and that is the extension to be able to connect to other batteries. So that is super cool that you can connect 2 other AllPowers batteries for this. However, and I did spend some time looking this up online, they're not currently selling any of the additional batteries that connect to this. So that's something that's a little disappointing, as I would be looking to extend this. However, maybe I just get another unit on its own and use it that way. So I do wish that the manual itself does mention, just to look it up here, the AllPowers Smart Extra Battery, but can't find it anywhere. I found a few posts on Reddit with people commenting on not being able to find it. So that is a little disappointing. Now, something else that I did find a little disappointing with the AllPowers compared to the EcoFlow is the mobile app. It's okay. It gives you kind of how much output, how much input's there. It gives you the battery percentage, but that's about it. So it doesn't give you much intelligence into like overall efficiency and other things that the EcoFlow app just kind of does a little better. So the good news with that is that you don't need the app whatsoever. I did install it and started to set this up via Bluetooth, and I just found that I didn't need it. So it is nice to not have to use it with this battery pack. I do just wish that it was a little more feature rich like the EcoFlow app. And kind of the final dislike that I want to say, and that's related to the solar panel, is the MC4 connectors that come off the back of the solar panel are really short. And I do wish that they were quite a bit longer. When I have been playing with the solar panel over the past 10 days or so, there were times where I would have to keep going out and moving the battery into the shade while keeping the solar panel in the sun. And if there was a longer cord, that would have allowed me to keep the battery a little further away. So I am considering getting a longer MC4 to XT60 cable that can connect the short cable from the solar panel via a longer cable to the battery pack. So I think that there are some workarounds on that, but those are my likes and dislikes on this unit, and I think overall it's really quite impressive. And I think what makes it even more impressive is the price. So I'm gonna read this right now. And the way that AllPowers works is that they do typically have fairly significant discounts on their website. So I'm gonna be giving you the US and Canadian price. So for the R1500 1152 watt battery, this is, so in the US, it shows a suggested retail price of $899, but currently at the time of filming on July 28th, it is selling for $499 US for the battery. And in Canada, it retails for, the retail price is $13.99, but it's currently on sale for $6.99. So there are pretty major discounts right now. Now, I don't know how often they have those discounts. It is typical for some of these battery manufacturers to carry pretty significant discounts quite often, but these ones seem particularly good. Now, where this gets even better is when you look at the solar panel. So the SP033 solar panel in the US is typically $299, currently on sale for $199. So you can get both the R1500 and the solar panel for kind of just under $700, which I think is a really good value. So that's US dollars. And in Canada, the solar panel is currently on sale from $399 to $249. So for just under $1,000, so about $950, you can get this bundle in Canada. So I do think that the price is quite impressive when you compare it to the likes of EcoFlow, Blue Eddy, and a few others. So, and just kind of, AllPowers is relatively new to the space, but the build quality of this is on par with the EcoFlow that I have. So I am absolutely thrilled with this unit. And I'll have links in the description below for you to buy if you're interested or research more on their website. But in my opinion, I think that the AllPowers R1500 in combination with the SP033 200 watt solar panel, which is a killer deal, is a really good solution for those of you looking for a portable battery like this that does have a lot of capacity. So that's all I'm going to show in this video. Stay tuned for more videos soon, including one on the best upgrade I've ever done in my workshop, which does relate to power. So stay tuned, that one will be out soon. Thanks for watching.